Hi, Shay Stanford here. I wanted to introduce myself and share with you a story that has actually happened to me pretty recently. And you may have been noticing I'm posting more about leaky gut and autoimmune and things like that. So about 18 months ago, I noticed that, actually it's been longer, but it's really where I was like consciously aware of it. About 18 months ago, I had started realizing I was getting like numbness in my fingers and my feet. And every time I would eat, I would feel really bloated. I also would get really fatigued. I literally could sleep like 10 to 11 hours a night. I was so tired. And during the day, I would just have a hard time concentrating. I noticed that my skin just wasn't looking as vibrant as it used to. Kind of looked dull and drab. And the worst part of all of that, actually no, I also had really bad joint pain, to the point where it hurt to work out. So I was working out 3 to 5 times a week, but I could not work out with much intensity because I would have such bad joint pain. I literally could go to the chiropractor every single day, and it would hurt to the point where I just sitting in a chair would hurt, walking would hurt, and I didn't want to work out or do much because I was in so much pain. So then I would continue to take like ibuprofen and stuff like that. The biggest thing for me was I noticed weight. I kept gaining weight and gaining weight and gaining weight. And here I am. I'm certified in holistic nutrition. I know what to eat. Yeah, I'm not a purist, and I have days here and there, but the rate that I was gaining weight compared to the effort I was putting into it was really frustrating. So truth be told, I've gained about 30 pounds over the last 2 years, and that's with exercising and eating well and doing a lot of the right things. So the biggest defeating moment for me was about 2 months ago. I did the 3-day refresh, which is a 3-day detox where typically you lose about 5 pounds. I did this, and it's a 800 to 900 calorie a day for 3-day kind of cleanse. I literally did not lose 1 pound. Not one, not even in water weight. So I did it an extra day thinking maybe I'm just holding fiber. I still didn't lose weight. But man, the minute I would go back and I would just eat something, regardless, I would continually gain like a half a pound a day, a half a pound a day. So at this point thinking, okay, is my life just meant for me to gain weight? I'm never going to be thin again, because at this point I hurt so badly physically. It's hard for me to lose weight, but even on the nutrition side, I wasn't losing either. So I called a very good friend of mine, and he says, you know what, you are classic textbook for hypothyroidism. And I said, well, no, that's not it, because I went to my physician last October and he said all my numbers were fine. So it can't be that. And he was like, you know what, so many conventional physicians do not test deeply or correctly or for the right things. Go to a functional medicine doctor. So I found a doctor, her name's Dr. Watson here in Tampa, and started like sharing this story with her, and it all came down to leaky gut. And I am going to jump ahead to my results. So all of my results, my antibodies all came back fine. I did not have a full-blown autoimmune disorder. But this is what I learned from her, and then have learned since, because I've done a lot of research with this. What she had said was that I had to fix my gut in order to fix my metabolism. And many people have had, we have what's called leaky gut, but basically it's a porous small intestine where food leaks through, because things like gluten and dairy and sugars, among other things, penetrate that small intestine wall to where it's not solid anymore. It starts becoming loose. And I said, well, but that just doesn't make, and when that happens, your body starts getting in a high sense of inflammation. And that's why your bones ache. And I started having all these random symptoms. And then your immune system starts attacking yourself, which is a lot of times when people have leaky gut, it leads to an autoimmune disease, which are irreversible. So started asking more about the leaky gut, and she goes, you know what, you can restore your gut, you can fix your gut, but you've got to eliminate a lot of foods and then slowly add them back in, because even healthy food is going to irritate you and irritate your stomach. And so she recommended a product called Restore, which I've been taking every day, which really helps restore your gut health. I've eliminated gluten, I've eliminated dairy, I've eliminated sugars. I am happy to say I've lost 4 pounds just in the last few weeks. And you know what's interesting to me is, here I'm thinking this was like a year and a half. On Facebook, that shows like on this day, how many ever years ago? 3 years ago, it popped up a couple weeks ago, where I had posted that I was going to the doctor because my joint pain was so bad, and I had named my symptoms, and I was just sick and tired of it at that point 3 years ago. And I'm going to tell you, when I saw that post and then had realized how long I had been struggling with this, it almost brought me to tears, because had that doctor then knew what Dr. Watson was teaching me, I would have been healthier these past 3 years. And I said to Dr. Watson, I'm like, I don't understand. Like, I eat great. I eat really, really well. How can I have leaky gut? And she said, you know what, Shay? She goes, you're 43 years old. You've been a Cub Scout. You've been great for the last 5 years, 6 years, but that does not negate the 37 years of ingesting Roundup and ingesting pesticides and hormones and antibiotics. And have you ever taken antibiotics? Well, of course I have. Do you take ibuprofens? And all of that destroys your gut health. And unless you make a conscious effort to fix that, just the last 5 years is not going to make a difference. And I'm so thankful I have at least been drinking Shakeology, because I probably would have deteriorated faster or had a full-blown autoimmune disease by now. But it's just, Shakeology alone is not enough. You've really got to eliminate a lot of the foods and things that are also in your diet. So I'm very active and aggressive with running autoimmune and leaky gut groups to share what I've learned, because I'm finally feeling better just after a few weeks. My joints don't hurt anymore. I'm sleeping better. I'm a lot more awake, and I can slowly start to feel myself heal, and I'm finally losing weight for the first time in years. So I know that there's some truth to this. So I wanted to share that story with you. If any of you out there have similar symptoms that I have, please reach out to me. I would love to have you in one of my next groups, get to know you, and see if some of the stuff that I have learned would be able to help you. One book I would recommend to you would be this book by Dr. Amy Myers. This was recommended to me by the doctor I went to, and it's called The Autoimmune Solution. And then the other book is the Autoimmune Paleo Cookbook. Now, granted, you may not have autoimmune, just like me. I don't either. But you would treat that the same as you would treat a leaky gut when you're trying to restore it. And I'm going to tell you, so many people have or are on their way or on a spectrum from being totally healthy to having a full-blown autoimmune disease. And once you have an autoimmune disease, you're 3 times likely to get another 2 or 3. So super important to treat your gut with restoring it and not just putting more pills on it to suppress the fire. Or I'm sorry, to suppress the smoke and not the fire. So I wanted to share my story with you guys, and I hope if any of it resonates, I hope you can get some relief by some of the tips I have shared.